Okay, here we are. Salam alaikum, Munir. How are you? Good morning, good
Uh,
afternoon.
Al Alaikum assalam. I'm doing good. Doing good. It is a
Good.
good morning. Actually, good afternoon here. Beautiful weather.
Almost
Pretty
evening.
hot. It is. It is. It's 5:15 p.m. So we're past Asr time. So we're very close to iftar. For those who understand my
Yeah,
mumblings.
yeah. Yeah, my sleep schedule has been all flipped up. So when you mess up your sleep schedule, man, it's like it's not even about the hours, the amount of sleep you get. It's just whenever you wake up, even if you slept a good amount of time, your body is like, why did we go to sleep at this time and get up at this time? And it just takes time to
100%.
it's 10 a.m. here
100%.
and my body's still
I
trying to figure out what planet we're on.
I hate nothing more when it comes to my life schedule than when I lose my sleep routine. And
Yeah.
that happened to me in the last couple of weeks. Happened a lot that I sleep until 10 a.m. because I would stay later because of Ramadan, or
Mm.
sometimes even at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. is the max
Mm-hmm.
Boston time. Since I'm not pressured by I gotta go to work immediately, I guess my body was, oh, I want to rest. And then I guess it affects psychologically. It affects you just don't feel the same as
Mm-hmm.
well. You don't feel as productive. You don't feel the same. You don't feel you're more prone to dissatisfaction, aggressiveness, and nervousness. And I read something about that as well online, like studies that show that how it's beneficial for um, mental health or psychological happiness or whatnot, the early rising or as early as you can and as early as it makes sense in your life
Right.
now. And when you break that routine, it affects you heavily.
Yeah. So you can imagine what it's like for our drivers, man. There is
100%,
no
man.
routine. There is no routine. Okay, let's dive in. Um, so daily recap, 4-5 by your truly Munir Aldin. Man, look at this presentation that
It's
Amina
getting better, man.
continues to raise the bar. Look at this thing, man.
Getting amazing, man. Amazing. It's amazing. And how I think this all follows how our weeks and days are getting better for our drivers, I
Right.
guess, and for the lowest book. The presentation is getting better as well. So we upped
Pretty
our
soon,
standard.
man, she's gonna be approached by the likes of Google and others to arrange their presentation. So we gotta step up our everything with Amina because this is next level stuff.
It's amazing, man. It's amazing.
All right,
Looks
so
beautiful.
oh man, look at this too. She has a timer up here. We got 15 seconds left, so that's not really gonna work out, but let's give it a shot.
All
Yesterday
right.
we had 52 available drivers, of which we booked 43. Six of them were not booked that were waiting for that five. Oh man, that 5 hours or more. The average time that our drivers spent inside of that prime idle time waiting is 6.2. I'll be honest, I gotta check on these numbers because it sounds a bit off with the 6.2. And then this too, if we had 52 available and 43 got booked, then I wonder why our data shows that there's six not booked. The math's not mathing, but we'll check on that. Anything on your side before we move on?
No, that's about it. I mean, that's just plain numbers. I guess I agree with you. We should look into how
We
realistic are
will,
they.
we will. A lot of these reports are brand new, made so we have the data to present to drivers. So we haven't had a chance to, cook them and recook them and bake them and flip them and all of that. It's one of those things like when you're cooking and you put a piece of meat one side down, and then you look at that side and it looks perfectly done. But then you look on the other side that was never face down and it's still raw, right? So you got to flip it. You got to wait. You got to flip it again. That's what we got to do. But right now we got to be aware of this timer. So let's go on the next slide. Go ahead.
1,839 loads available in our system. 87 were self-declined, 223 were auto-declined, and we had 82%, 82.6% of our fleet was utilized for loads yesterday. So I guess 13% was not. 469 was declined loads by our dispatch, and 818 expired.
Yeah, so if you go back to this slide for a second, actually, no, it doesn't say how many we placed. No, right here it says, okay, kind of jumping around, but we had 619 bids, 818 expired loads, meaning that drivers were offered those loads, they didn't respond, which is a huge number. At the end of the day, if you guys want to book more loads, we got to place more bids. Um,
100%.
we booked 54 loads, 9.2 win ratio, and average rate per mile 92. I think it's a 1 or 2 cents lower than the other days as far as that rate per mile goes, but 92 is still a respectable number in this industry in this time. We'll take it all day and all night, twice on Fridays.
Yeah.
Um, Move on. Okay, as far as our code red drivers. We got a guy in North Carolina that is all self. With the end of the week, with the Eid coming up, I'm sure he's more restricted with loads than normal. And then we've got some cases in Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan. Um, means that they've been waiting for a load since yesterday morning, essentially. So all day yesterday. Any comments on these before we move on?
It is weird that we have drivers waiting in Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan for loads for um, longer than 10 hours. Some of them, I'm just looking over those are booked already, but also if there is a lot of drivers waiting in a very good area such as Ohio and Indiana and Michigan, it's never good, even if there are restrictions like home buys or something like that. They are in the perfect spot to get booked.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how much of that is just us not what's the word I'm looking for, adjusting quickly enough, to those restrictions, maybe lowering the bids or being more aggressive to book them on loads that do fit their requirements. Um, we got to make sure on our side, when there are restrictions, that we do our best to adjust and fix our approach. Do you know specifically with these guys, did anything stand out on what might have led to this?
Well, the last guy on the list, I know he delivered somewhere up there and he probably relocated down to Detroit area.
Yeah.
He wasn't there for the whole day, I think.
Okay.
Uh, Others, I'm not really sure from this, but I think there is a home buy for the second guy on the list. He lives in
Okay.
Iowa, close by.
We'll check on it more and okay, cool. So Amina decided I wanted to add this. She typically spends her time doing operations, the customer service side of stuff, rather than the bidding. So she's trying to show some love to her comrades in operations. Um, let's see what we got here. So we got how many Canadas were cleared yesterday, right? Or how many Canadas were worked on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Um, well, down here it says total 11. 9 of them were cleared. One of them is facing some sort of a delay. And then one of them is we haven't gotten the paperwork yet to get started on it. Um, with these Canada loads, we always talk about they pay better. We strongly encourage everyone to do these who has the ability to go to Canada. And majority of time everything goes smoothly from start to finish. You don't really have any hiccups or delays. But yeah, shout out to our operations team. Great job on these. Great job keeping our drivers waiting times and these clearances and delays to a minimum.
Indeed.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, our driver, 587, Guelam and Dagano. We had a problem yesterday. One of our drivers used incorrect paperwork on a delivery, signed incorrect paperwork, and later on, um, moved and declined to go and sign the correct paperwork. In the end, the customer asked us to do it, and we called this driver and asked him to do it for us, and he was more than happy to assist us, even though he had an appointment set up already. So
Nice.
thank you so much. He's one of the guys that will never say no, and we sometimes feel bad when asking when he has an appointment. But yeah, he was the best and closest option to finish that within an hour, and he did, and really props
He
to
was
him, and thank you so
compensated, I
much.
assume.
He was,
Yeah.
of course.
Well, great job on that, man. Throw an extra $25 his way just as a sign of gratitude. Um,
$5.
And yeah, man, when we have these kind of situations, we always say this is what makes or breaks us as a company. This is what makes or breaks our reputation. Relationships are strong but fragile at the same time. If you piss off the wrong person with the wrong situation, maybe you got a customer that has a huge customer who we messed something up on. Now, even though what we did might have been a small thing, that's not that big of a deal to them because their customer is so important to them. They're going to treat our situation as a bigger deal than it was. So it's always great when we have drivers that are willing to step up, be professional, and especially when we screw something up, make it right. So thank you so much, Nagano. Is this like the UFC fighter, man? Is this Ngannou? What we're talking
Probably
about here?
cousins. Um, probably they're probably cousins or something like that. I'm not sure. I
Man.
think I think they're from the same part of the world, to put it like that.
Okay. All right. We got bidding data broken down by dispatchers. The king of bidding from yesterday has been dethroned loads wise. There's a new sheriff in town. Hadis is ready to take lessons and learn from the great Muhammad how to book more loads at the end of the day. Looks like Mohamed ended the day with 17, the newest member. Haris with 14, and Ahmed, our hybrid, uh, with 12. Haris did have the highest revenue per load, which is quite significantly higher than the others. But today is the day to celebrate Mohammed's achievements in dethroning the king.
Indeed.
Let's get some fireworks in here. Whoa, where's my fireworks machine? There it is.
Oh,
Oh, I found
wow.
another effect, man. This isn't directed at you, but look at this one. Look at that.
Nice.
All right,
Very
we
nice.
got the best loads. Man, look at this presentation, just keeps getting better and better. We
It
got a
does.
Tennessee to South Dakota, 1,388 miles, $1,225 paid to the driver. Again, man, one of those loads that checks every box. Could it be $100 more or 150 more? Sure. But really, here's the thing. At the end of the week, when you make $3,000, whether you made 3,000 or 3,100, it doesn't matter as much, right? So when we can get a load that in about a day, you can make $1,000 or more and still end up in an okay area for a load. Not the best, not the worst. Srednja žalost, as we say in Bosnian. It's a win-win situation. 8 seconds. Any words from you on this load?
No, it's a nice load. I share the feeling about it, such as you, same as you.
Phenomenal. Moving on. You do this one. Go.
Michigan, pretty much Detroit, going down to Madison, Mississippi. It's 1,000 miles run for $910. Once again, Madison is not the greatest area, but as Aldin said at the end of the line, if you do, two of these, three of these a week, you're close to 3,000, and it happens, right? It happens that drivers do four of these a week, and so I'm really happy about it as well. It's about 90 cents a mile on it. It's the standard rate going down south.
Yes, sir. Good load. Good loads. Good teams. Good players. Good plays. Friday. All right, moving on. Next one up, Quebec. The
Yeah,
the famous.
the driver, he delivered like 10 a.m. and he was booked 10:02 from Montreal, from Quebec, going to Indianapolis. 850, 9 miles, $860 a mile going to Indianapolis. And by the way, he needs to be by Monday in Iowa.
Oh my Lord.
This particular
This
driver.
this should have been number one on the list, man. This is the best load that I've seen
Yeah,
because he's
yeah.
so far from home, right? He's almost 1,500 miles from home. Week is winding down. The driver's getting nervous. The clock is ticking. Our dispatcher glances over at the computer, sees this Quebec to Indianapolis, drops whatever he's doing. Slow motion. He's grabbing, I mean, he's doing it quickly, but the camera is showing it in slow motion. He's grabbing the mouse. He's rushing with the mouse over to the bid button, right? He's reaching for his headset. He can't find it. It's somewhere on his desk, but he doesn't know where it is. He takes things, just dramatically throws them to try to get his headset, grabs the headset, puts it on, calls the customer, says, "Hey, I have a driver that is more than qualified to do this load. You need someone to go from Quebec to Indianapolis. I can do it for $860. My guy needs to be home in Iowa." The broker is amazed. Their jaw drops at the professionalism at the delivery. I mean, their tears are welling up in their eyes. They're thinking about the Oscars performance that they're gonna give us for this thing. They say, you know what? Here it is, your load. Boom. That's how magic happens.
Indeed, 100%. I don't know if Amina had that info because he doesn't live in Iowa, but he needs to be in Iowa. He has a family there to spend holidays with. So
Look, man, number one thing you got to know in life is you don't doubt Amina's information knowledge or presentation building skills. So, I
ever
mean,
again,
I have no doubt that she might have had that information, maybe.
maybe.
All right, how to maximize your earnings and minimize your idle time.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Hold on, man, hold on. Okay, go ahead. How to do it, Monita?
How to maximize earnings, work more, and minimize idle time, work everywhere.
Hmm.
That's about it.
Yeah, um, we talk about this phrase often. I like this idea. I like this concept. I mean, it promotes exactly at the end of the day what it is we're actually trying to do out here. Um, the only thing I would add to it is above this, our goal is to help our drivers achieve what it is they want to achieve, right? If someone is content with making $1,000 a week, and they like being closer to home and everything else, then we're okay with it too. We often talk about, how to make more money, how to do this and that. And that's because we get so much pressure from the drivers that are wanting to make more money, right? So that's kind of what we project onto the rest of the fleet in these videos. But at the end of the day, man, if your goal is to maximize your earnings, Rauda said it perfectly. What I want to talk about specifically on the safety meeting we had, driver meeting we had last weekend, Rauda said something I'm not sure if many of you caught. She said, I rest whenever I can. She said, as soon as I deliver a load, I put myself available and then I go sleep. And when I'm booked, if I'm sleeping, they call me, wake me up. Obviously, you got to be responsible, keep your phone on so we can reach you. But a lot of times drivers will waste that available time just messing around and doing other stuff, rather than getting their sleep in, getting their rest in. So some drivers have really perfected this idea, that they're available even when they're resting. Now you have to obviously be careful with that. If you are truly not rested and really tired, then go out of service, put yourself future availability when you'll be ready. But we're talking about those scenarios where you finish a load and you're perfectly, not tired. You're ready for another one. Well, if you don't rest and then we book you on another load, then after that next load, you're going to have to go out of service. Whereas when you were not really fully tired, if you try to get some sleep in, and then we get you booked, well, you got your sleep, and then after that load, you can keep running, right? The point is, Be wise with your available time. Use it as much as possible to rest, and then you can keep running more. Obviously, do not ever put yourself in a position where you're in service when you should not be, when you're physically not uh, able to be available.
Absolutely.
All right, 97% on time with 97 stops. More loads means more stops. We were late without a valid reason on three of them, and we were late on with a valid reason on three of them. 97% is almost at the target. The customer's expectations are high. We always talk about this as a premium brand. That's what we advertise ourselves to be. Being on time is the number one thing we have to be good at. Everything else is good, is noble, to have good communication, to have good technology. But at the heart of what we do requires us to be on time, right? So 97% is good. Our target is 98 plus. So we'll continue to work with our fleet. We appreciate your hard work, guys. I mean, 97% on time is no small matter. I mean, it's an impressive
Hmm.
number, and it takes a lot of hard work, man. It takes a lot of sleepless nights. It takes a lot of, pushing yourself to deliver and to perform as you guys do. The other night, I think we mentioned it on the previous uh, live, but the other night I stayed up all night, and around that 2 a.m., man, my body started telling me, hey, it's bedtime. And I was just sitting there doing nothing. I wasn't driving. I didn't have to focus on the road. I didn't have to focus on traffic. I didn't have to focus on staying in my lane. I didn't have to fear dozing off. If I fell asleep, there was no consequence to it. So anytime, man, that either I go on a trip or I stay up later, I'm reminded of the sacrifices that our guys take. Okay, go ahead.
Every journey begins with a single mile. Let your drive today be fueled not just by the engine, but by the spirit within you. Remember, every road you conquer, every mile you cover adds to the map of your life's achievement. You learn every day, as they say. Every
Yeah,
day a
the
new
thing
thing.
the thing with
Yesterday,
this, man, we go ahead.
yesterday I learned a new thing.
What'd
I
you learn?
learned I learned that horses cannot vomit, and if they have a
Hafsa taught you something new?
Hafsa taught me something. If they have a stomach, whatever virus or something like that, they're unable to vomit and they die. There's like
Damn.
if they is they're like if they're not with professionals who can help them immediately within a day or something like that, there's no cure. They
Wow.
die. Yeah, and they often die. That's because one of the number one whatever top three causes of death of horses, not being able to vomit.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's insane.
So you
That
learn
is
every day
truly,
something new.
truly insane. Hold on one
It
second.
is.
I'm in the middle of something. It's really not a.
Aldin has left the building. But I'm here, guys, to keep you entertained while he's out. I just wanted to say more on this as well.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
a lot of you guys have more experience than I do, or more life experience, and you guys can teach us a lot about the life and work and everything else. Feel free to leave comments. Feel free to send feedback on what we're doing over here. I see our one of our drivers, Amir, he left the message here. He said, "Good morning. Never seen myself on red." Well, because you're very rarely waiting for a load, Amir. Thing is, a lot of the drivers out there, um, how do I say, it's kind of maybe you're a bit lucky as well, but also you have a right setup. And I would, encourage all drivers to use something similar to what Ahmed has, which is two-thirds of US green, then Ontario, Quebec green as well, and then he bids when he has opportunity on a load as well, and he never says no to a load, never. Whatever is out there, he'll take it. That's why he's not on the red list that often. You're back.
Yeah, I mean it's simple, man. It's simple. There are drivers that'll never pop up on that list or almost never pop up, and it's not accidental. That's all I'll say, man. There's people that understand the industry they're in, that understand the job they're in, that accept, you know, things as they are. And we don't have to like the rates, but if we accept the rates for what they are, then it makes our lives easier. The thing I wanted to add on to this quote, man, is the way that life journey goes is we go through these ups and downs, and at the time it's very difficult, right? It's difficult dealing with some of the challenges that life throws our way and keeps us up, and it's stressful and everything. But it's amazing how a year later, when you reflect on it, we often reflect on these things with such fondness, the adversity that we overcame.
Yes,
So
sir.
the point is, man, just every mile you cover adds up to the map of your life's achievements. As you go through these things, as you go through the most difficult parts of your life and your journey, just remind yourself, this is part of my story. This is part of the journey. God willing, one day I'm going to be reflecting on this in fondness. I'm going to be reflecting on this as something that I overcame. Um, any of us, if you think back in life, think back to some of those stressful times you had, and now your emotions that are linked with that are almost one of pride for having overcame it, rather than like the pain and agony that it brought you. So, in the moment, try to keep your emotions more closer to that flat rather than, being able to spike up and down because you're affected by the good and the bad and the ugly.
What do we got left?
So I wonder why it didn't show up here. So someone left a message in the chat, the super chat. Okay.
Well, I commented on that message.
Oh,
Oh,
there it
there's
is.
someone
But
new. There's someone new. I don't know who this is, but whoever it is, hi back.
okay, there it is. I fixed my chat. Now it looks better. Hi back. Love it. Okay. Fun Friday. 1 day shipping, no problem. What else we got here?
Oh,
Uh,
where the news, the Republican, where the news hits home, the truck, and I took that literally.
oh yeah, did you watch that documentary?
Of course, The Last
Yeah,
Dance, my man.
yeah,
Of
yeah,
course, of course.
yeah.
Do you know
He,
that
re-
there is the guy Sabahudin Topalbecirovic, a famous commentator from Bosnia. He just did a documentary on Tony Kukoc, the
yeah,
teammate of Jordan in
yeah.
Chicago Bulls, and Michael was kind enough to spend an hour or more recording for the this guy about Tony.
Nice.
So he's in the documentary, and they say it's like very difficult to get to Jordan to
Oh
record
yeah,
anything with him. He's so secluded. But when Tony reached out and asked for this guy from Sarajevo to do an interview, he said yes because of Tony. And then in that
nice.
documentary, he has holding Bosnian flag and something like that. This guy used Jordan, and they're saying like no one ever used Jordan that much for everything, like for signatures from Bosnian flag and everything else. Amazing,
Nice. Yeah, I think the line from the documentary is I took that personally, but I like this. I took that literally.
right?
Uh, what else we got? Owner operator. This truck driver
Shortage is getting out of
shortage is
hand.
getting out of hand. Man, yeah, there was a time there where truck driver shortage is a real thing. Now it feels like it's there's too much of it. But yeah, man, at that time seemed like just about anybody could get behind the wheel. Okay, I think that's all we got for the memes and the humor. I love it. I love it. So every day we're gonna have a new segment to close off. It's gonna be something different every day. So this is getting fun. Um, anything else, man? Any plans for the weekend?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's spend some time with the family. I have actually this Sunday as well. I'm taking everyone. We're taking everyone from the company. We're going to iftar dinner together this Sunday. And
You're taking everything I worked for.
yeah, I'm just gonna work for. So it's a nice sit down we're gonna have
That's awesome, man.
Sunday
I'm
night. Yeah,
envious that
Sunday
I'm
evening.
not there, jealous I'm not there.
Yeah, we would like you to be there as well. It's but sometimes yeah, that's what we need to live with.
It's
Hopefully
easier
one day.
it's easier to talk trash about someone though when they're not there.
It is. It is. I'll let them do whatever they want. Don't worry.
That's right. One day, I mean, it's off the clock. Let them get their punches in.
Yeah,
No, man, one thing I'd like to do, man, and I think I've talked to you about this, but I think it's healthy to have a team where people are able to, voice their thoughts freely. Um, I don't want a team that's just in compliance with what I have to say. I want people that
100%.
challenge me.
We destroy
You know,
we
I
destroyed passion. We destroy passion by destroying free thought and free
yeah,
expression.
yeah.
100%.
Nobody likes to innately be. Whenever there's any negative feedback given to anyone, there's a part of you there's that ego inside that lights up and says, "Who the hell are you to tell me anything?" Right? But once you overcome that, or once you silence that voice, you know, beautiful things arise from a team that feels that they're able to speak their mind. And what I hope to build in all of us, man, is I mean, obviously everyone should be respectful and all of that, but at the end of the day, like people should be free to share their thoughts and concerns and opinions, tell their superiors when they think they're wrong. And then I'll even go a step further and say, man, if we get a little passionate, while we're doing that, that's okay too. Like we don't have to keep it HR. We don't have to keep it like kakudakaja. I'm not saying like let's yell and shout and whatever, but if a little bit of fire comes out, that's a healthy thing, I think. When you're trying to build something grand, I don't think you can do it, and not step on people's toes every once in a while. So
I agree.
I
I
say
agree.
from my side, if I ever step on anyone's toes, forgive me, and I ask you never to step on mine, please.
What's that Andy Priscilla saying, if you step on my toe, I'll take you by your neck. He
Well,
used the
that's
F
the
word.
enemy.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
used
yeah,
the F word.
that's when he talks about the enemies, man. We crushing the enemies, but from within, it's a little bit different.
Indeed.
Our producers are doing their best to keep this under 30 minutes. We went from 38 to 33. I do believe in our ability to continue to shave this. The goal was to keep these to about 15 minutes. So we might get some negative feedback about this one as well, but we'll conclude there. And I do have faith in our ability to continue being more and more condensed and deliver more and more this message in a more and more fun way.
Right on.
Before we finish, any questions in the chat? We'll give it about 30 seconds just to give people an opportunity to voice any questions they may have. Where's the chat? There it is. This is your opportunity, man. This is your opportunity to tell us why you think Munir should be
Major,
criticized.
major shout out to one driver that will definitely watch this, to Ala Farid again. I woke up
Oh,
this
man, what a
morning.
guy.
I woke up this morning. Ala Farid is our driver 322, number 322. To his videos, he's sending me videos. I don't know if he wants to share them, but I'm not sharing them right now. But they were amazing, um, fun, and of course, positive in every sense. Thank you so much, brother. God bless you and your family.
Ala Farid, man, is one of those people that's born once in a million years. You know, the vibes, the energy, the positivity, the everything, the attitude, the views on life. Absolutely love it. People like that, I think, live longer because they stress less, because they accept things, that happen with more. There he goes. No, maybe that's not him. I don't know. No, 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 man. I read Axel Live, and I thought, you're using an MC as a dispatch company. You guys are crooks in the industry. I think this is the guy that's left a bunch of comments, made videos about us, and I've reached out multiple times. If you're watching this Axel Live, first off, man, I appreciate what you're trying to do. There is a lot of crooks in the industry, and the industry's kind of laid down with their belly up to those crooks and just accepted them for what they do. I assure you, we are not one of these crooks. And what I'd love to do is set up a Zoom meeting with you. If that's your intention, man, if your intention is to do real, God's work, as they say, and differentiate who the crooks are and who the good guys are, then let's set up a meeting. We'll go over what concerns you have. We'll discuss things. I mean, we've been in business for 10 years. We run a legitimate operation. All of our vehicles are branded with our logos. So if you're interested in a real conversation, I'm happy to set it up. If you're interested in just clickbait and just sharing things to you know to whatever crap on companies, then that's your thing. Um, we're based out of the US. Some of our operation is outside the US, just as your favorite companies, just as Ford, Chevy, the heart of American businesses, a lot of their operations are ran out of the US. It's the way the world is moving, man, and we can sit here and be bitter about it, or you can recognize it that that's what it is. Google, every company in the world now, yeah, all of our vehicles are under hired, non-owned with BHX. Some of them have their full coverage with us, and others have physical or part of their coverage on their own. But I'm not going to continue to sit here and answer these questions like this. I am more than happy to set up a Zoom meeting with you to go over any concerns you have. If your goal is to really get to the bottom of things, if your goal is just to get views and likes and whatever it is, then that's a whole different thing. Um, yeah, I'll.
Good that you're so patient, Salim.
Well, I mean,
Let's yeah, let's
I
move on
agree that
from
the industry is
this.
full of crappy companies, and I appreciate the efforts of trying to identify those because they are ruining it for the rest of us. So there is some nobility in what this gentleman is trying to do. But you know, I have extended a hand multiple times. I've commented on his videos that he made about us specifically. He commented on a video once I responded to it. So if there's a real interest in a real conversation, I'm happy to have it. If it's just a person trying to get views and likes and whatever off of someone else's name by shitting on someone else, you know what it is, man. That's part of the world as well, and everyone has the freedom and the right to do that. Um, all right. Anything else from your side, Mr. Munir?
Nothing else, man. Nothing
God
else.
bless you. God bless America.
And no
And
country,
God, yeah, as
no
Ricky
other
Bobby
country at all.
says, God bless America and no one else, and no other country in the world. No, man. No. God bless the world. May peace
Of
prevail.
course.
Salam aleik.
Like,
God bless you all. Have a beautiful day. To the drivers out there, stay safe.
bye bye.
Okay, gotta stop the stream. Gotta stop the stream. Stop stream. Peace out, stream.